Next up is Alligator Bioscience with CEO Søren Bregenholt. Welcome.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Søren Bregenholt. I'm the CEO of Alligator Bioscience. Alligator Bioscience is a clinical stage biotech company fully focused on developing agonistic monoclonal and bispecific antibodies in immuno-oncology. We have a deep and mature pipeline and a number of antibody technologies to sustain long-term growth. We are located in Lund, Sweden, and listed on Nasdaq in Stockholm. Our lead asset, mitazalimab, is in phase 2 clinical development in first-line pancreatic cancer. We have, as I said, a differentiated pipeline with near and mid-term value drivers and a set of leading antibody technologies that will allow us to build both a proprietary and a partnered pipeline to sustain future growth. A number of our key assets are mature for out-licensing. Alligator management team is strong with the key experience in drug development, operational leadership, and also in partnering and deal making. As I just alluded to, Alligator's management team represents key experience and competences in both drug discovery, drug development, commercialization from a set of leading European biotech companies. Alligator's pipeline is led by mitazalimab, our phase 2 clinical program, our Neo-X-Prime technology also exploiting CD40 agonism, a key mechanism in immuno-oncology, and a pipeline of preclinical and clinical compounds targeting 4-1BB. Today I will primarily be talking about mitazalimab and our Neo-X-Prime technology. The company has a proven track record in collaboration and out-licensing, recently pinpointed by our agreement with Orion, a Finnish biotech company where we utilize Alligator's key technologies to discover and develop bispecific antibodies against novel immuno-oncology targets. This collaboration has a combined value of up to 469 million euros. I also want to pinpoint our collaboration with US-based Aptevo to develop 527, an IND-ready 4-1BB bispecific antibody. Now let's focus on mitazalimab, Alligator's lead asset. Mitazalimab is a second-generation CD40 agonist with best-in-class potential. Mitazalimab targets CD40, thereby educating the immune system to much more efficaciously attack the tumor, leading to increased tumor control and reduce disease burden. CD40 does this, or mitazalimab does this, by activating the so-called dendritic cells in the tumor. Mitazalimab has been in phase 1 clinical development, showing excellent tolerability, validation of the mechanism of action, and also a strong evidence of clinical response in this phase 1 all-comers single-agent trial. The data from this trial has convinced Alligator that it's worthwhile bringing mitazalimab into phase 1, therefore, or phase 2 clinical development. Therefore, we have started Optimize 1, which is a phase 2 clinical trial in first-line pancreatic cancer patients, where we combine mitazalimab with the most used chemotherapy agent in these patients, namely FOLFIRINOX. We included the first patient in the trial in Q3 last year. We are recruiting patients in Belgium and France and expect to read out the interim results from this trial by the end of Q4 2022. Now, why do we believe that mitazalimab will be a key agent and potential game changer in pancreatic cancer? So pancreatic cancer is a difficult disease to treat. It's a so-called dense cold tumor. And CD40 agonism do 3 very important things in this tumor. First of all, they act on the so-called macrophages to make these cells rearrange the tumor stromal, to make the tumor more accessible and permeable, both for chemotherapy but also for immune cells. Secondly, mitazalimab activates the dendritic cells in the tumor to make these much more efficacious in educating the T cells that kill the tumor. And thirdly, we know that agonizing CD40 allows the dendritic cells to recruit even more T cells to the tumor, therefore mounting a much more efficacious attack on the tumor, leading to better tumor control. Therefore, we believe that mitazalimab is well suited to treat pancreatic cancer. Therefore, we have initiated OPTIMIZE-1, a phase 2 study in first-line pancreatic cancer patients, where we combine mitazalimab with chemotherapy. And the specific characteristics of mitazalimab allows us to dose much more frequently and at higher doses than our peers, therefore giving us the opportunity to prove medical benefit of mitazalimab to differentiate the program from our competitors, thereby leading a clear path to registration in first-line pancreatic cancer patients. And as I said, we expect to read out data from this trial in Q4 this year, and the full top-line result from the trial in the second half of 2024. So pancreatic cancer is a horrendous disease with very few options currently other than chemotherapy. Median survival for the patients are approximately 5 to 7 months, and the 5-year overall survival is less than 10%. The most commonly used chemotherapy for good status patients is FOLFIRINOX, and we are combining mitazalimab exactly with FOLFIRINOX in OPTIMIZE-1. Using branded chemotherapy as a starting point for our commercial modeling, we believe that mitazalimab will represent an opportunity of a peak sales between 1.5 to up to $4 billion in the US and EU5. Following on from mitazalimab, we are developing a novel generation of bispecific CD40 agonist on a technology platform we call Neo-X-Prime. This technology gives us the same benefits as mitazalimab, but it adds an additional innovative step by being bispecific, therefore recruiting tumor material directly to the dendritic cells, thereby at any time during the tumor's development being able to educate the immune system on the mutations that are ongoing in the tumor, and thereby giving a more safe, more efficacious, and also patient-specific T-cell response to the tumor in question. We are currently developing 4066, a late-stage preclinical program a late-stage discovery program that we see great opportunities in cancers like colorectal cancer, gastric, and potentially also non-small cell lung cancer. Now let me end by introducing 1017, our 4-1BB monoclonal antibody. We recently updated the data from this phase 1 trial at ASCO. We are dosing the 900 milligram dose, the last dose in the trial. So far we have seen excellent safety data, excellent biomarker data, and we have patients still on trial seeing clear clinical benefit from 1017. The last molecule I'm going to talk about is 527, which is also a 4-1BB antibody. This is a bispecific 4-1BB antibody, tumor-targeted by its binding to the tumor-associated antigen 5T4. We are co-developing this molecule together with US-based Aptevo. The drug is IND ready, and we are in the process of getting ready for a phase 1 clinical trial towards the end of 2022, while we are also in the process of looking for potential partners for this very exciting molecule. So let me end by summarizing upcoming milestones. We recently updated the market and the community on 1017 at ASCO last week. By the end of the year, we will read out mitazalimab interim data from the OPTIMIZE-1 trial in first-line pancreatic cancer. That's, of course, an important inflection point for Alligator. And during the year, we expect to expand our both technology and asset-based partnerships. So, in brief, our phase 2 molecule, mitazalimab, will read out in Q4. We have a pipeline that will sustain long-term growth. Together with our technology platforms, we have several assets in a stage ready for out-licensing, and we have a strong management team to ensure high-quality drug development, operational leadership, and also deal-making to sustain the growth of Alligator. Thank you.
Thank you for an interesting presentation. And you came in as CEO of Alligator in June 2021. How would you sum up the past year?
Yeah, so that has been a dedicated and very, very interesting year, and also very fulfilling. A lot of stuff has happened. We, of course, significantly took mitazalimab into phase 2. That's a big event for the company. We are recruiting as expected. We saw that the highest tested dose was safe, and we were able to continue with that. That's, of course, encouraging for a molecule, for any molecule that you have both safety and evidence of efficacy. And the Q4 readout is, of course, important. We have been able to also move 1017 ahead. We have made exciting deals, Orion, for instance, and raised more capital towards the end of last year, and also been able to expand the management team with, for instance, a new chief medical officer, but also other key players in Alligator has come on board to ensure that we have the right capabilities to continue bringing our pipeline forward.
And you have also entered into several research collaborations. Will we see more of these kinds of collaborations in the future?
Yeah, I'm absolutely sure that we are going to see that. As I said, we are looking for both partners for some of our assets to allow us to become even more focused than we are. And we also have excellent progress in a number of our programs that give me expectations that we will be able to expand them within the coming 6, 9, 12 months.
And where do you see Alligator in 3 years?
So in 3 years we have read out OPTIMIZE-1, hopefully with strong proof of concept data, and we will be very, very busy getting ready for phase 3. Either alone or with a partner. And then I expect, based on what we just discussed about business development and further partnerships, that we are working hard and dedicated on a number of these partnerships. So building our own proprietary pipeline forward while we're continuously validating our technologies through partner programs.
Interesting, and thank you for being here today.